Hey y'all, this is Driver. So we're back here on ATS again. Gonna just kind of continue on with some of the stories and knowledge that people have been asking about. Today's load is going to be this tub grinder. We're still in Bellingham, Washington. We're at the same place we delivered because there's nothing else nearby here, and we're going to Seattle, Washington. Now I did have to book a external contract load. I'm not a big fan of them just because they limit you on how fast you can go, which is 65. Um, that's something I don't agree with just because of, I own this truck, so I don't think I should be governed. But, that is kind of what it is. But that's what governing is when you are set to a certain speed. And a lot of larger companies do this in particular. So, today's topic really is going to be about shippers and receivers. And I'm going to do a slight little role play with this place here. So, this place here, and I'll even show you here on the map, they don't have any place here to sleep. I'm zooming as far as I can go. There's no place here to sleep. And in real life, this is actually a pretty common problem that a lot of places won't let you sleep at their location, whether you're picking up or delivering or things like that. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. It's going to be companies in general, but that's just one of the things with companies. So let's go ahead and fire our truck back up here. In case you forgot about the crazy road that we're on, it's going to be interesting getting out of here. They also parked that semi trailer right there, so I'm hoping I can squeak by it because I'm not sure if I can get close enough to up that or circle around. I don't think I can get up that direction because back behind me, you look back over here. Actually, let's just go back outside for a hot second here. Yeah, you can see that gate right there. So there's no way to circle around. So kind of just is what it is, guys. So yeah, I had several choices under the on the loads real quick. I picked this one because it is a short mile run, even though it's under the external contract for the reasons I spoke about. Under the regular contracts, all the runs on there were well over 1,000 miles, and I don't want to make a super long video for you guys, and I don't want to have to try to keep breaking them up, and make it like a three-part thing or something like that. Anyhow, let's work on trying to get out of this place real quick. We need to see if I squeaking by this one trailer that they left in the way. Hopefully they'll let me. What I want to do is just get over as close to the side as you can, and hopefully squeak by it. So that trailer there is a chip van, and something new that they are bringing out is being able to see them actually get loaded and unloaded. I'm hoping I can squeak through here. This is going to be really tight. So the one thing about trucking that most people don't talk about, if you are unsure, always get out and look. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this. Truck's not liking this. We're on this little hill right here. So I'm going to cheat a little bit with the game, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to, so I can kind of just see what I'm doing here. And in that way, I kind of know what's going on without hitting anything. A lot of truck drivers will not practice that rule. Um, you may see a semi truck with a sticker on its mirror, and it says "goal," kind of like a goalie. That stands for get out and look. And a lot of big companies put that on there to encourage the drivers when they're backing up to get out of their trucks and look and make sure they're not going to hit something. So, before we get too far on this drive, guys, I know it's dark, I know it's nighttime, but I kind of want to check this out. I don't know if I'll ever be back up here, and I want to go ahead and bring you guys along with this. So we're going to stop here real quick, and we're going to trigger this. And because we're on a hill, I'm going to set this brake, and you have to shut your motor off for these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my mic, and we're just going to sit here and look around real quick, the cutscene. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so that was a little shorter than I thought it was going to be, but still interesting to see, even though it's nighttime, and it is hard to see. But I wanted to do that. I don't know if I'll be back up here again. I would have loved to have seen this in the daylight, but so I'm still going to continue my discussion about companies and whatnot. I also just looked at my fuel gauge and noticed we got a little over half a tank of fuel, but we should be good. It was actually a short run. I didn't say this earlier. It's about 150 miles. So, but I'm gonna have to pay attention on this road as I talk to you guys. So, on our topic with companies. Now, this is not trucking companies. This is shipping and receiving companies. I will not be mentioning any names of any of those places because I don't want to get discriminatory BS going on. But anyhow, the like I said earlier, the majority of places that you pick up and deliver at do not allow overnight parking of any sort. There are companies that have shipping receiving hours, and then some that have appointments, and you cannot be there too early. If you have an appointment, say it's a 6 a.m. appointment, sometimes they'll let you get there about 5, sometimes 5:30, but never anything earlier than that. If you run out of hours while you're there, they look at it as it's not their problem, it's your problem, and you need to leave now. Whether or not you have the driving hours or whether you're even awake enough to do the job, you just have to leave. And I'm 100% against that. Um, I actually read a article here recently of a new distribution center that's being built, and I honestly don't even recall the name, but I'm not going to repeat it if I knew it. Um, One of the things that they're doing in all their blueprinting and land surveys and all that, there's going to be a truck parking area, or what we call a staging area. This is still kind of limited, but they will. I don't know how theirs going to work, but some of those places will allow you to get there, even the night before, as long as they got enough room, and you can stay the night. Or if when you're delivering and you don't have the hours to leave, they just ask you to pull out into that parking lot and get you some sleep and be out of there in like 8 to 10 hours. So this company is building a staging lot intentionally for that purpose. How that's going to work, I don't know. They didn't say in that. They just talked about it, and it was more of the question from for the truck drivers of should it be required that they start doing this from now on. So I found that to be pretty interesting that they actually want the truckers' input on that one. I think that they should because we need a safe place to stay. If if you're if you look at it this way, you've driven all night to or all day to get there, and let's say you've got around I don't know like a 3 or 4 o'clock appointment to deliver. So you get there, you make your delivery, you're on time and with no problems. But while you're there, you've ran out of hours. You can't legally drive. You can't go nowhere. So being able to stay there is a very nice benefit. I'm not asking them to be a truck stop. One of the pitfalls is there's probably not going to be anywhere to go eat, even within walking distance, because a lot of those places are going to be an industrial area. But the drivers typically carry their own food of some sort, if not a full kitchen, so to speak. Um, so yeah, there's that. That's been one of the biggest downfalls. What a lot of people don't know about is there is another deal that's going on. Been around for many years actually, and they call it Jason's Law, and it was nicknamed after a gentleman named Jason. So this guy had an early morning delivery time. I can't recall what the hour time was. He got there way too early. I think he got there about 2 hours too early. And they told him, no, you can't come in. You're not allowed to be here yet. So he didn't argue with them. He probably asked them really nice, but he didn't argue with them. He left. And he went down the road a little ways and found an abandoned gas station that the parking lot wasn't blocked off or any of that stuff. So he just pulled in there, kind of parked out of the way, and he went to sleep. And basically, he was stopped. He only stopped there to take a couple hour nap until he could go deliver. While he was, we're getting trailer damage on this road. I think I'm going slow. Anyhow, um, while he was sleeping, um, a person, don't know who, and I'm not even sure they ever caught the guy or person. Um, they broke into his truck. He apparently got up because of this. They shot and killed him and made out with about $20. And it's a sad event because the driver's only trying to do his job, and he couldn't even fully do his job properly because he wasn't allowed to stay on site, even though there's rules. And I understand the rules, and I fully get why, and we'll go over that here in a little bit. But he couldn't stay there, so he had to do something different. And then when he did something different, it cost him his life. And there's many cases of things similar like that going on. Luckily, most of them people didn't lose their life, just lost property or money or something of that nature. But it's just a sad thing. So Jason's Law is supposed to help get more parking available to truck drivers um, for those kind of events right there. One of our biggest problems we have is truck parking. There's not enough parking for all the trucks on the road overnight. And we might touch a little bit more on that later. So, that's something that's good that's going on, and I'm happy to see companies that are willing to implement staging yards or have staging yards or a way for people to stay there for and as long as they need to, but try to keep it, on a professional level. Um and also actually having bathroom access, and I'll get onto that one too, because in during COVID, which we all know was pretty hard on everybody, truck drivers were still working. They were the ones that were still making the deliveries, making sure that y'all got everything you needed. And the truck drivers really got treated like crap. And I say that, and I cannot see. Hold on a second, guys. I apologize, but I cannot see squat here. So, because during COVID, everybody was worried about everybody getting sick, and I understand that 100%. Everybody was wearing masks and keeping their distance and all that good stuff. Um, from coast to coast in the U.S. here, and I'm not sure about overseas, but I have a feeling that probably happened out there too. Truck drivers were turned away if they needed to use a restroom. Now, for us guys, we can find or make a bathroom, and I'm not going to touch on that subject. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. But women can't. So the it turned into a real problem because the drivers were being turned away. They couldn't even use the bathroom. Those companies would not put in any kind of at least a portable bathroom that anybody could use. So you fast forward a couple of years, and for the past 2 years, Washington State's been working on a bill, and there's a few other states that's following lead with it. And it's basically bathroom access for truck drivers, and it's pretty sad that we've came to this. That we have to make a law just so a truck driver or a person, period, can use the bathroom. They're not requiring that the company build new bathrooms for the drivers, but that they're able to use the bathrooms that are already readily available to the employees and customers of that location. So, it that's one thing I look at with other, on the company side with these places we pick up and deliver at. And this is happening at everything from just big distribution centers to your regular grocery stores. I don't think Walmart did anything like that, but think of a store like Walmart. You have a truck driver that comes in and he's hauling, let's say he's pulling a refrigerated trailer and he's got perishable items on there. Let's say it's dairy items. So he's got dairy product that needs to be delivered, and he's doing his delivery. And then while he's there, he's denied to be able to use the bathroom. It's kind of sad. I remember when I first got in the business, I could literally walk anywhere I wanted to in the store while I was delivering, around the back area where they're unloading my truck. They would let me go up to inside the grocery store and pick up groceries if I needed to, which was kind of nice. I remember several times when I would deliver, I did dry van and I delivered dry goods a lot. And I would ask him, hey, how long is it going to take you to unload me? And the guy would be like, oh, probably, 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I go out into the store and buy a couple of grocery store items? Because I had a little bitty fridge on my truck that I kept cold stuff in, but it didn't have a whole lot of room in it. So it was always a perfect opportunity for me to go grab, another package of lunch meat, maybe some cheese or some more mayonnaise or something like that. Um, but nowadays, drivers are turned away, just because I don't know, for whatever their reason might be. So, well, we finally made it to a paved road, folks. Let's get out of here. So, when it comes to companies that are like that, I have no respect for them. Um, my experiences, I've never really been turned away from bathrooms. The only time I've really been turned away from an actual real restroom was when they told me I had to use the porta john that was out in the parking lot. And as far as I was concerned, you know, a bathroom is a bathroom. You give me something I can use, and great. I'm pretty well happy. Now, some people don't like the porta johns. I know a lot of women don't because they're not typically that clean. But I'd rather have at least somewhere I can go rather than not be able to go at all. As far as a lot of my experiences with pickup and deliveries, most of those are pretty positive. I had a few places that I had discrepancies. I can't recall all of them. You know, Sometimes it was my error, or something they thought that I did. Sometimes it was just something that happened during the transit, or the way that the trailer was originally loaded at the place that picked up at. Um, I remember one time I had a load that I took. I used to haul a lot of wood built lockers for places like the 24-hour fitness places. I won't say the names of the companies. And the trailer I was pulling, that particular trip, had a real bad storm that I drove through, and they the trailer leaked water. I didn't know it. I didn't know the trailer had a water leak. So when I got over there, there was a couple of lockers that had water damage. Oh crap! That's a red light. Ooh, stop, stop. Okay. Wow, truck got good brakes on it. So the delivery customer noted the damage, which was water damage, and I signed off that yes, there was water damage. They knew that I had nothing to do with it because water leaked into the trailer. It happens. Um, and I know that they ended up shipping a couple of new lockers out there that were not damaged anymore. But I had one time where I hauled these big, huge rolls of paper, and I know I've talked about hauling those rolls of paper to a pain in the rear end. And I picked up over in Georgia. I won't say where, but I picked up over in Georgia, and I got on the interstate, and I'm cruising along. I'm not 20 miles from where I picked up, and I get over to an interstate interchange, and a fire truck is getting on the highway. So I slowed down and was trying to move over, but couldn't get over. And I'm heavy, these big rolls are just heavy. In the midst of me trying to move over, that fire truck went ahead and just changed in front of me. And I understand that it's an emergency vehicle, they have to go, but I couldn't stop. And so I slammed on the brakes and I hit the shoulder of the highway. And by doing that, my load shifted. And I had ended up having to turn around and drive 20 miles back and have my load resituated because it slid and ruined my weight balance system. So, but I could be mad at the whole situation because it just happens. But it's unfortunate that it happens. Um, I have had companies that where I picked up or delivered that was pretty rude to me, but I always tried to be respectful. I've never been one that's just going to sit there and try to cuss you out or, you know, keep on with the anger type thing. I'm not going to dive into it. Has it made me mad? Oh yes. You know, have I mouthed off? I probably have. But it's just one of those things where you know not every situation is perfect, and a lot of people, when they are mad, they rub it off on everybody else. The person that was mad at me because of something, and I don't even remember what it was, might not have been really that mad at me. They just may have been having a bad day. But I've also been around people where you could just tell that that's their demeanor, that's their attitude. They're rude, they're hateful all the time. They don't really care. So I've had good and bad companies that I've dealt with. I've had companies I worked very, very well with that actually always recommended me by name. I worked for so kind of like what we do here on ATS. Come on, change lanes. I'm trying to be smooth and this controller's not cooperating. But anyhow, so here on ATS, most of the time what we're doing is we're just taking our truck, we're picking up a trailer, taking it somewhere, dropping it off, and then we go over and find another load that's basically another trailer, and it's rinse and repeat. In the trucking industry, that's called power only. That's a power only load. So you're bringing the power, which is the truck, and they provide the trailer and the load that needs to be moved. So I did a lot of work with a company out of New Jersey, and the dispatcher out there, and I'm trying to remember his name off the top of my head, even though I probably shouldn't say that. Um, he had my cell phone number, and he would personally call me at times and ask me where am I at and can I cover something for him. And most of the time I could. Very rarely I couldn't. But he enjoyed how well I worked with him, how prompt I was with what I do. Um, and it's about building relationship. Every place that I enter, whether I'm picking up, delivering, buying fuel, eating dinner, or whatever I'm doing, I've always been respectful. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. Um, I'm never hateful. I don't go in there cussing up a storm. I may cuss out cars on the highway, but that's usually through a windshield. You go in and you treat people with respect, then you get respect back. And there have been times where it irritated me because I would pull into a place and they'd say, "Oh, well, you're going to have to wait a while." Well, when they say wait a while, it doesn't mean 30 minutes or an hour. It usually means 4 to 5 hours, maybe 6 hours. And one time that I was really irritated, I was delivering out in Texas, and I got there. I think I had an appointment time, or they maybe just had a delivery window that I just had to be there during. And I got there to deliver, and I pulled in, and they told me, "Okay, we'll just back in this door, and we'll get you unloaded." I'm like, "All right, cool. Which lane was I supposed to use? I guess this one works." Nope, I was in the wrong one. Stupid me. Okay, so they told me to back in the door, and they had all my paperwork, and they said that they would come out and get me when they were done. And I said, "Okay, not a problem. I'll let you do your thing." So they came out. They never came out. I'm sitting in a truck, and the kind of work that I did, the kind of stuff that I hauled, um, they loaded and unloaded me with a forklift. Can I get over, car, please? Jeez, never do that, people. Don't just sit there and ride beside a truck. So I'm sitting in my truck, and I know they haven't even thought about unloading me because my trailer doesn't move, like it should when you feel the unloading going on. So after a few hours, I went in and asked them. I said, "Hey, I said, I'm supposed to be getting unloaded, and this is the door number I'm in. Any idea how long it might be?" And the guy wasn't rude with me, but he was pretty upfront that, "Hey, we'll get to you when we get to you." I'm like, "All right, that's fine." So I go out to my truck, I call my dispatch, I let them know what's going on, and they tell me to keep them posted. I was there for 8 hours, people. For 8 hours, they never even touched the trailer. They never even started unload me or do anything. And it irritated me, but I didn't go in there and cuss them out because of it or be rude or whatever. I went in there, I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? I've been here for blah, blah, blah hours. And, I gotta be in this lane. So, it's just kind of one of those things where, respect and, treating each other right will get you a good ways. And eventually I was there for at least 8 hours, and my company actually told me to ask them if just so I could go home because that was my load to get me home. So that basically what they wanted me to do was to be able to leave the trailer behind and let them unload it when they could unload it, and then we would come back and get the trailer once it was empty because we were local from there. And they ended up agreeing to that, which was surprising, but they did. So, but yeah, there are good and bad companies out there, both on the shipping and receiving side. Trucking companies, kind of the same way. My personal opinion of a lot of trucking companies, the bigger the company, the worse they treat you. Um, Big companies, they treat you like a number. Um, Smaller companies treat you more like family. Now, that doesn't go for all companies. I have worked at small companies that's treated me like garbage. And I do know of people that have worked at larger companies and was treated really well. The only reason I never worked for those larger companies is either I was already working somewhere else or they didn't service where I live. One of the pitfalls of living in Florida is most companies will not hire me. And it's based upon the state that I live in. And the reason behind that is there's a lot of freight that goes into Florida, but nothing coming out. This is a tourist state. So, but those are just my thoughts on shipping and receiving companies and also trucking companies. I don't have a whole lot to say when it comes to trucking companies because it is what it is. Um, every company is a little different, but they also are the same. So yeah, but so guys, we're pretty much here. So we're just gonna end that topic there, and that's pretty much all my thoughts on it. I know I kind of rambled on it for a little while. So this is our receiving entrance, and it still took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. We were almost 30 minutes into recording. You want it right there? I'll put it right there. This run took a lot longer because of that road, that dirt road. Oh my god, was that a long road? Let's see. And they want you to stop here. Please read all rules. So, as you see here, these are scales that I'm pulling onto. Um, in the real world, you would have to pull in and weigh if they have scales and talk with somebody. There would probably be a gate arm right here. Um, Something that probably people don't never look at is this little box here. Uh, it is unlegible, obviously, but I've had to use boxes like that in multiple places. So you just have to follow the rules. Like this place here may only want you to drive 5 or 10 miles an hour. It's literally crawling. But it's a game, so we're able to do things a little faster. But I try to be reasonable, if that makes sense. Brakes. All right. So that's a delivery there, folks. Let's see how we did. And I got an achievement for logged in. Didn't know I didn't have that one yet. So we only made 15 grand. It took us 30 minutes almost to do this. And gain some XP. Like we know I don't need XP. So, but all right, guys. Well, that's going to be a wrap there. Let's go back out here. We'll see if we're still hooked this thing. See if we got some. Oh, this looks like it's still back there. Let's pop out here real fast and shut this motor off. So that's the load there. Still can't see it all that great, but It's looking like it's early morning, so our next load that we do here in the next day or so will hopefully be more of a daylight run. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to quit rambling. I hope y'all have a great day, and I will catch y'all later. See ya.